Thanks for watching the video. If you'd like to support the channel, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks. It would appear, at least in recent history, that after a coach has been sacked, that the players respond profoundly and want to put up a fight the next game. Whether this is just anecdotal evidence or this is actually true, there's no real statistics to back this up. Could this be a rev up from the coach, or maybe the players are playing bad just so they can get rid of the coach and get some fresh blood in? I don't know. Let's take a look. In 2022, both GWS and Leon Cameron decided mutually to separate. Mark McVeigh took over the helm at GWS, and the very next game, the Giants beat West Coast by 52 points. Now we've got to remember that West Coast were not a very good team in 2022.
Pretty confident kick, slides it through. Delightful. The Bomber boys, they heard Solomon. But it was the first half demolition that set it up, and it's 1 from 1 for new Giants coach Mark McVeigh. 21-12, 138 to 13-8, 86.
In 2021, Nathan Buckley stepped down as the head coach at Collingwood and Robert Harvey took over. The very next game, the Magpies lost to Fremantle by 12 points.
I always felt that I've given my all to the multiple roles that I've played at the club over the last sort of 28 years.
3.5 on the clock. Maynard. Sarong bends it forward to Henry. It's wide open in front of him. He's got Main and that's it. He's got Schultz in board. He's already kicked 3. Henry ducks, dives, wants to find Schultz in 4 different minds. Can he hit a target? Oh, my word, he can!
How good was that? Bewley just ran the wing.
In 2012, Matthew Primus was the coach for Port Adelaide and arguably one of the worst coaches for winning percentages, in my personal opinion. He was sacked after coaching 18 games in 2012. The very next game, Port Adelaide were facing up against Hawthorn. If we go back to round 21, 2011, Port Adelaide lost to Hawthorn by a whopping 165 points, the biggest loss in the club's history. Surely with a new coach, and that in their memories, they would fight and try to win the game, or at least not get flogged by 165 points.
I'm here today to announce that I've accepted the decision from the board that I will not be the senior coach of the Port Adelaide Football Club next year. In light of this, I had the choice to coach the next 4 games, but I don't think I'd have the passion or the substance to coach the playing group.
Gary Hocking began his audition for the Port Adelaide position following the sacking of coach Matthew Primus this week.
Well, unfortunately, this isn't a fairy tale, this is real life. Port Adelaide were flogged yet again under their new coach, Gary Hocking. Port lost to Hawthorn by 72 points. You could argue that this is probably one of the worst years Port Adelaide have ever played, and Hawthorn were just starting from 2012 to 2015 on their three-peat. But without the 2 best forwards in the game at the time, Port Adelaide still lost by 72 points. The 2 best forwards being Buddy and Jared Ruffhead, for Hawks, obviously. I guess the big question is, what can we take from this? I know there's a lot of anecdotal evidence, and a lot of people that I've heard say that once the coach gets sacked, that the next game the players play a lot better and it's almost a guaranteed win. Well, the statistics actually say otherwise. Since 2012, there have been 12 coaches that have been sacked, and out of those 12 coaches, there have been 5 wins and 7 losses the very next game. Out of that, the average winning margin is 38.2 points, while the losing margin is 40.2. So they're pretty neck and neck. I don't think there's actually any advantage to a team that loses the coach and plays the very next week with a different coach. I don't think this helps at all. This just might be an AFL wives' tale. What do you think?